I want to talk about how to deal with intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts can be one of the biggest roadblocks that you'll experience along your self development and self discovery journey. When you're finally starting to see yourself in a positive light, and all of a sudden you have all of these negative thoughts coming in from a place that you aren't aware of, you don't know where they're coming from, they're just there. It can be very distracting, and even though you have all of these positive thoughts, there could be that one negative thought in your head that completely cripples you. And sometimes it comes from within, sometimes it comes from outside of yourself. Sometimes it's that one person telling you that you don't have what it takes. And that thought right there lingers in your mind, and it stays with you even when you think you've gotten past it. It sticks with you, and now you don't know where it came from. Okay, and that's why I want to make this video. I want to help people overcome intrusive thoughts and learn about what they really are. Okay, because intrusive thoughts, for as distracting as they are, understand that they are no different than any other thought. Okay, all thoughts are temporary unless you hold on to them. I'm going to repeat that for those of you who weren't listening. All thoughts are temporary unless you hold on to them. Okay, and that's the first thing that I want to talk about. You are not your thoughts. You have to learn to detach from your thoughts. We all have positive thoughts and we all have negative thoughts. Understand that without negativity, positivity cannot exist. Okay, there is balance in polarity. There is balance in the black and the white. Okay, that's what a yin yang is. Imagine a yin yang. You have the black side and you have the white side. But within the black side, there's a little bit of white. Within the white side, there's a little bit of black. Because without the opposite, the other cannot exist. Okay, so learn to appreciate negative thoughts for what they are, because they do serve a purpose. Without negativity, positivity cannot exist. So appreciate them for what they are, but understand that they are not you. You are not your thoughts. You are simply a vessel for thoughts. Thoughts are temporary unless you hold on to them. You don't own your thoughts. That's why when you think something, you lose that thought eventually. Okay, over time, you will lose that thought unless you are subconsciously holding on to it for whatever reason. Usually, the only reason why you'd feel the need to hold on to thoughts is, your ego, okay, insecurities. You feel like it resonates with you on a deeper level, and because of that, you feel like you have to hold on to that thought because you identify with it. You think that you're finding yourself, but you're not. You're finding someone else's perception of you. You're living through other people's perceptions. Okay, somebody called you a name back in 3rd grade, and because of that, you feel like you're inadequate at the age of 25. And this is where self-awareness comes in. Okay, you have to develop self-awareness if you want to overcome intrusive thoughts. And the only way to do that is to go down that rabbit hole and do the shadow work. You have to find the source of these thoughts. Okay, thoughts don't just appear out of nowhere. Within your subconscious mind, you have developed a belief system, okay, or multiple belief systems, some of which may contradict one another. And a lot of times, intrusive thoughts can come from that. It can come from those contradictions, those inconsistencies that you have from within. That's why it's imperative that you go inside of yourself and you learn to do the shadow work. You find all of the trauma that you have and bring it to the light. Shine your light on the trauma that you have, the negative experiences that you might have had from a young age especially, because a lot of times intrusive thoughts stem from childhood trauma that you don't even remember. Okay, but you have to go down that rabbit hole, you have to do the shadow work, and you have to find the source of these thoughts. Now, how do you do that? You do that through journaling and meditation. Journaling and meditation. Those two things right there will allow you to overcome any intrusive thoughts because you're developing more self-awareness. Now, journaling and meditation work very, very well together. And the reason why, and I've mentioned this in other videos, but the reason why is that journaling allows you to express yourself. It allows you to express your inner thoughts and your inner feelings. Whereas meditation allows you to identify your inner thoughts and inner feelings. Okay, so when you meditate, you're looking within. You're shining that light within yourself and being present with your thoughts. You're being aware of the thoughts that are going on in your mind at that time. And that's why I always say that meditation isn't about clearing your mind. It's not about the absence of thoughts. It's about the understanding and awareness of thoughts. You have to be aware of the thoughts going on in your mind for you to take action to, change your belief systems at the subconscious level. And that starts with the shadow work. But shadow work starts with self-awareness. You have to be willing to take the time to look within through things like meditation. And then take all of the things that you're learning through your meditation and journal that. Okay, journal it. Express it. You don't even have to journal. You can create art. Something that you can interpret and understand and analyze. For me, it's journaling and making videos. Making videos has been my therapy for a while now because, it allows me to analyze all of the things that I'm saying because I'm speaking straight from the heart. Now, when you first start doing those two things, meditation and journaling, of course, you're not going to be able to make those connections right off the bat. Some of you will, but most of you won't. Okay, it's going to take some time. You have to understand that you have years worth of conditioning within you. Okay, years worth of internal conditioning and external conditioning. Sometimes external conditioning leads to internal conditioning. Sometimes internal conditioning leads to external conditioning. And that's why forgiveness is so important. Because if you're harboring resentment towards somebody, then they're living rent-free in your head. Okay, anything that they've ever said or done to you that's causing these intrusive thoughts is only going to be perpetuated because you're harboring resentment towards them. You're not letting go of them. Like I said, thoughts are temporary unless you hold on to them. You have to learn to let go of your past. Okay, now I mentioned the subconscious mind and how your subconscious beliefs lead to thought patterns. Okay, now once you start to go down that rabbit hole, you're going to go past your thoughts, you're going to go past your feelings and your actions and your emotions, and you're going to find your beliefs. You're going to find your inner, deepest beliefs and your perceptions about the world itself and everyone in it. Okay, now this is where the change is actually going to occur. You don't change the thoughts. Okay, you can let go of the thoughts, but if you don't do the inner work and change your beliefs, you're only going to attract more negative thoughts to yourself because it's a cycle. Subconscious beliefs determine your thought patterns. Now, how do you change your subconscious beliefs? Of course, that starts with self-awareness. Like I said, journaling and meditation. It starts with, knowing who you are, knowing what you think and why you think the way that you think, why you have these belief systems. Okay, that's how you, attack the trauma at its source. But beyond that, you can also do what I like to call mental judo. Okay, now mental judo is basically the art of taking negative thoughts and using the momentum of those negative thoughts against them and flipping them into positive thoughts. For example, if you miss somebody, you miss somebody very, very deeply and you feel lonely, it's very likely that you have subconscious beliefs that you need that person to be happy. Okay, so what you can do is you can take that thought of, I miss this person, I'm lonely, and not repress it or get rid of it, but instead flip it into a positive thought and say, I appreciate the time that I had with that person. That's why I miss them. Like I said, without negativity, positivity cannot exist, and vice versa. If there's a negative thought that you have in your mind, there's always going to be a positive side to it, a positive paradigm. Another example for everybody who's on NoFap or retention. Okay, a lot of times you feel like a failure because you relapse on whatever it is that you're doing. Instead of doing that, you learn to forgive yourself and realize that you're a success for even trying. Okay, the fact that you're even trying to do something that about 99% of the population is not willing to try, that alone makes you a successful person. You're trying. It's better to try and fail than to not try at all. And I don't even consider that to be failure. You have to learn to redefine your meaning of failure. Okay, failure only occurs when you stop trying. So this is the level that you need to be reaching in order to, overcome intrusive thoughts. You have to be willing to dig deep and find the flip side. There's always going to be a positive side. Okay, and from that positive side, you can learn to dig down that rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole of positivity and perpetuate that belief system. Make that belief system stronger. Feed it with positive self-talk. Tell yourself that you're going to be successful. Tell yourself that you're happy with where you are in life right now because you are alive, and the chances of that happening were so slim that you were successful from the moment that you were born.